What's cracking? It's your homeboy Ice Cube. Welcome to Hip Hop Squares.
The game is simple. It's just tic-tac-toe. Get 3 in a row, you get that dough. Horizontally, vertically, or diagonally.
Horizontally is not a word.
Never ask me no Ice Cube questions.
What? He challenged me to a dance battle. I just feel like, why wait till the end of the show?
Should I win or should we just keep playing the game?
Yo, why you trying to start controversy, bro?
I could twerk, though.
It just got real hip-hop up in here. Y'all finally want to win some money.
This is my time to shine.
Kill it with the show.
Yeah. Tic-tac-toe is back.
VH1, you owe me.
Ice Cube, guys. One more time.
Yeah,
Let's
yeah.
hear it.
How y'all feeling? Looking good, looking good, looking good. Everybody looking good.
Thanks so much for being here, man. Good to see you.
I mean, thanks for having me, man. You know, I'm excited.
You made it out, right? We weren't sure if we were going to be able to do this today.
Yeah, it's cool. You know, I'm not used to the snow, but you see me with my damn, you know, it's look like I can go through 3 blizzards with these on. So.
Did you run out last night and buy yourself some boots for the snow?
No, I had these for a while, you know, so I just pulled them out.
Let's talk about Hip Hop Squares. How did this start for you? It's not the normal type of thing that we would see you produce, right? You normally produce shows, you produce movies, but a game show, a weekly game show, that's new for you, right?
Yeah, it's brand new. You know, last year, well, not last year, year before last, I think. I get my years mixed up. Too much weed, I think. But what happened?
Too much weed now or when you were younger?
Well, you know,
All around.
we'll talk about that later. But we did Barbershop The Next Cut, and VH1, we produced town hall meeting with them in Chicago, and they loved our get down. So they said, yo, we got this property called Hip Hop Squares, and we need somebody hip hop to make sure it ain't square. So.
Oh, right, because it was on MTV initially, or it was going to be, right?
Yeah, it was on MTV too for a while. And then, you know, we just kind of revamped it. And, you know, sometimes it's all about timing. And the time wasn't right then. But right now it seems like people are ready for this show. They want this show. And they had fun with it, you know, watching it last night. So it's great.
That's right. Congratulations on the premiere last night, man.
Thank you.
So one thing that fascinates me about you is that you're usually not kind of just the big idea producer. You know, your whole career, you were the MC. You get in the nitty gritty. You are all about process. You wrote Friday. You know, you've directed movies. You're not just like a guy who got famous who can now go into a studio and be like, I want to produce this, get the people, and make it happen and slap my name on it. You love being a part of the process, whatever that is. What was that like for you on this? I'd imagine it's new territory, it's new ground to be someone who's kind of overseeing everything.
Yeah, I mean, it was great working with VH1 on this because, you know, they already had the foundation of the show. You know, it was just really about us, you know, just making sure it stayed hot and it just stayed fresh. So, you know, we was just, you know, kind of injecting our ideas where they were needed and, you know, working with, you know, my team and their team. You know, I think we came up with a pretty good show that's, you know, pretty entertaining, you know.
It's pretty wild. There isn't a moment of it that's not entertaining.
It's a straight party, and then somewhere we play tic-tac-toe in there, somewhere in there. But it's just a show that's fun. I think people like seeing these guys unhinged a little bit, unscripted, kind of going, you know, they all know each other. So it's just fun to see dudes interacting on that level. And you get them drunk backstage, and when you bring them out, you know what I mean? It's a great time.
You're able to go from any genre of any movie. You could do any musical genre that you wanted, although I don't think you've experimented too much. I haven't seen you on too many country tracks at this point. But in television, you experiment as well, yet you never, I feel like, water down your brand. Everybody still loves Ice Cube no matter what. What do you think? Why do you think that is?
You know, I just be myself. You know, I think you know, people respect that when you just, you know, an authentic person. And, I try to, do great work for people. I work hard to make sure that the finished product is something that I would go see or that I would spend my time watching or listening to. So I think it's a lot of pride that goes into the work. And then, people just reward me with longevity. And so it's just great to be able to have a career that, spans this many years. And also, I'm able to do a lot of different things. I'm not just, stuck doing one type of thing, like movies or, so I just feel great that I'm in this position where I can, just show all my talent, not just some.
Where do you think that pride in the work comes from? Like, when was the moment for you when you started doing this, became an entertainer, be it an MC or a screenwriter, where you realized in order to have pride in the work, you had to put this much effort into it, and that pride really mattered?
I think it started off when we first, I first started getting with Dr. Dre and Yella, and they kind of took us under. When I say us, it's like, me and Jinx and, we had another dude with us named KD, just took us under their wings, and I realized, like, these dudes work hard. I used to think a record lasted, to make a record, it was as long as the record, so.
And people think the same thing about movies sometimes, too, when you talk to them,
It's crazy, when we first booked studio time, when I was, me and my crew, we booked an hour. We booked an hour and we thought we was going to be able to do a whole album. We was that naive. So just learning that it takes hard work. It took us years to even come up with a hit. You know what I'm saying? So to finally break through, with Boys in the Hood and then to still, like, to keep it going, you really have to work hard. So I learned that from there because it took us a minute to find our niche in the game. We was doing all kind of records. We was doing records that sounded like Beastie Boy records. We was doing all kind of whack hip hop. You know what I'm saying? So
just trying to break through, trying
to figure out what is our style, who are we, and then when we just was true to ourselves and was like, yo, let's just rap about the neighborhood. Let's just rap about what we know. Then everything started to fall in place. So I just learned from there that you got to put in the effort if you want something great.
What was it like for you your first time on the set of a movie like Boys in the Hood? You talk about going into a recording studio and sort of booking an hour and thinking that you could record the album. When you talk to people who've never been on movie sets before, they really think, throw the camera down, the actors talk, and then they move on.
Yeah, we had shot a lot of videos, before I did Boys in the Hood. So, when you shoot videos, you can shoot them quick. It's like you shoot a whole video in a day or two, So I didn't understand coverage. Coverage is, they laughing. Coverage is when you're shooting a scene, because I'm sitting there, I'm looking at the schedule. I'm like, why the hell does this scene take all day? It's 2-3 little lines. Why it's taking all day? And it was like, coverage. And we're like, what's coverage? So I'm thinking you could shoot it like a video. With a video, you just put the camera down, throw a dude in there, have him sing a little bit, move around. All right, we finished with this scene, we can go on. But with a movie, you have to get every angle of the same scene. So you're shooting 2 or 3 pages, but it's taking like 12 hours to get all these angles and
continuity.
So, it just, is a big lesson on how movies are made and why they take so long to get made. And
you've directed one movie yourself, right?
Yeah.
What was that experience like for you? Did you enjoy directing, or were you like, did it, I'll produce an act?
Well, I enjoyed it, but then I hated it too at the same time.
Well, it's nothing to be ashamed of. You talk to a lot of people who are successful. They make they direct one movie, and they're like, I did it. It was really great, but I'll produce an act. It's a different thing.
It's definitely a different thing, but I did it for, I stopped directing like movies for a different reason. It's just so time consuming. It's like if you're the director, you're basically, tied to that project from the start to the completion. So it could be a year and a few months, you know what I mean, before it's all said and done. And, you know, it just takes me away from doing other things that, you know, producing, I'm able to be a little more flexible. I could do more than one thing at a time. When you direct, you are stuck on that movie. So when I directed the Players Club, it took me out the game for about a year just working on that one movie. And I was like, man, I can't just be stuck on one movie. I got to do other things. So I said, you know, I'll produce and find great directors to kind of be the, you know, day-to-day, make sure it all gets done, and I'll just oversee and make sure it's a cube vision thing.
Can I ask, how long did it take you to write the first draft of Friday?
It took about 3 months. 3 months, yeah. Because, you know, I had started writing it with DJ Pooh, and then I was touring Europe, and this is my first time touring Europe, and it took me time to get used to just everything different, the food and everything. So I just basically hibernated most of the time. I just did my show and went back to the room and waited for the next show. So while I was waiting, I was like, yo, I'm going to knock out this script. So I was just writing all the time, you know, touring and writing all the time. And by the time I got back home, we had a script, you know, it was like 140 pages long, way too long. So we had to break it down and cut it.
Is there any other way to write a script, though? I feel like hibernating and momentum are kind of the best way to sort of, like you said, bang a script out or like get a script on page. Once you start distracting yourself, it's really hard to sort of maintain.
Yeah, you know, writing to me comes in bursts and spurts. You know, sometimes hibernating with just one thing is not good because you're really forcing yourself to come up with something. You know, but I like to do it in a more natural way. I like to write till I can't think of shit no more, and then, you know, I'll put it down for sometimes days, sometimes weeks, until I'm inspired to go back, pick it up, and it's usually things that I thought was fresh when I first wrote it that are really whack. That when you set it down and go back and see it, you can fix it. You know what I mean? So
that doesn't make sense.
Yeah. You know, what the hell was I thinking? You know what I mean? So I was up too late working on this shit. So
how often do you find yourself writing now? And how often do you find yourself trying to find writers to work with versus that? And does your writing help you with projects like Hip Hop Squares or the Big Three, just in terms of knowing what you want and what you want to do?
You know, I do a variation. You know, sometimes I write a lot, and then, you know, it depends on the project. You know, if I feel like I got a nice grasp of what it's about, then I'll want to write it. But I can work with writers too. You know, I like that. It's just a long process. You know, it's a longer process when you have to, you know, come up with an idea, maybe come up with an outline, then hire a writer, and then, you know, hopefully they'll bring you back something you like. The best way to do it is to get pages from that writer while he's writing. So it's like every time you finish 10 pages, send me the pages, man, because if it's whack, I need to stop you now. You know, I'd rather read 10 pages of whackness than 30. So
like 120,
yeah,
like
you
what
know,
you think is a draft or something.
So it's, you know, it's a back and forth, yin and yang, till we get it done.
Talk to me about Big Three. What's going on here? It's a really cool project that you're doing.
Yeah, Big Three.
It's a league.
Yeah, Big Three is a league, professional 3-on-3 basketball. You know, as a fan, I just got tired of seeing guys retire. You know, I saw Kobe retire, and his ass scored 60 points, like on his last game. And I'm like, if you can score 60 points in the NBA, why are you retiring? And it's simply because wear and tear. It's because, you know, them dudes play over 100 games. Sometimes they play 3 games in 4 nights, which is crazy. You know, I performed 3 concerts in 4 nights, and, you know, it wears on your body just performing like that. So I can imagine playing. So it's the wear and tear. So I was like, well, let's eliminate some of that wear and tear. You know, let's do 3-on-3 basketball, half court. You know, let's play 10 games instead of 82, and have them play once a week so they body can recover. So, you know, this thing started really snowballing into something great. You know, our first game is at Barclays Center right here in Brooklyn, June 25th. And it's going to be cool because we have 8 teams, and all the teams play on the same day in the same arena. So you'll get to see 40, 48 of your favorite NBA players all getting down in a new format, 3-on-3 basketball, which is actually the most played form of basketball, team basketball in the world is 3-on-3. So we just taking it professional, man, and it kicks off June 25th right here in the Mecca of basketball in New York.
So this is a professional league.
Yes.
Not just because they're professional basketball players, but it's not like charity games or anything like that.
No.
This is like they're getting professional dollars and playing professional games, and you're getting sponsorships, and that's incredible. I mean, we're talking about it as if it's like a small project to a degree, but that's a huge undertaking.
Yes, it's you tell me. You know, it's
How long has this been in the works?
over a year. You know, it's not easy, but you know, the word hard never. It's not a deterrent to me. You know, when somebody say it's hard, you know, that doesn't mean anything. My thing is it impossible? You know, if it's impossible, then I might pause for a minute. But somebody saying, no, this is going to be hard. I'm like, so? You know, everything worthwhile is hard. You know?
Well, what was the greatest roadblock that you had in putting this together?
Well, you know, nobody believes in first-year leagues, you know.
Because we've seen it before. We've seen a few other sort of first-year leagues of some kind of sports and they haven't really gone anywhere.
Yeah, so, you know, everybody waits to the third year to, you know, write you a big check. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, our job is to get to the third year. And, you know, that's what it's all about, is showing that we can put on a great show. I mean, setting up the stage for this is what we do. You know, we put on shows all over the world. So just creating a basketball element, making sure the basketball is great, making sure the guys are into it, the crowd is hype. You know, those are some of the things that we gotta cover. But
what you're doing, you're adding like kind of halftime shows as well and like entertainment all around. So it's not like you go to Barclays and you watch a couple 3-on-3 games and then you leave. You're turning it into like a whole, each game is a massive event.
Yeah, you know, we want an all-star game kind of atmosphere, you know, with entertainment and just keeping the crowd amped up. You know, sometimes games can get stale. You know, it's our job to keep it entertaining. And we think we got a new, entertaining, innovative. We got a 4-point shot. You know what I mean? So it's cool. You know, we got 3 4-point circles, and if you're touching any part of the circle, it's money.
Now I want to talk about Fist Fight, a movie that you're in that just came out a few weeks ago with Charlie Day and by one of the directors of It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. By my money, one of the funniest shows ever been on television, 12 seasons running. What made you want to be in this film?
Oh, man, I've been wanting to work with Charlie Day for a minute. You know, I just knew. I actually wanted him in Ride Along, too, but he was just busy. So, you know, when this movie came along and I met with Richie and he showed me the kind of movie that he wanted to make, it was like, yo, these are the kind of movies I grew up on, you know what I mean? So this was a perfect opportunity not only to work with Charlie Day, but to work with Richie in this, you know, cool concept. You know, everybody's seen the students fight after school, but, you know, now we got the teachers fighting. You know, that's how bad the school system is.
Well, that's what I think is so cool about that movie, is that it's not just this big comedy. It actually, within that, it's not trying to say something great, but it's trying to talk a little bit about the public school system, which has become a massive conversation at the moment. And it's crazy for a comedy like that to even try that.
Yeah, you know, we felt like we needed to be somewhat responsible. You know, we got teachers fighting in the middle of the class. We got teachers trying to get it on with students. So we felt like we need to be responsible somewhere in this damn movie. So it was cool to be able to kind of get that message out there that the school systems are now so bad, the teachers want to fight over it. So it's a cool, somewhat of a twisted message in that twisted movie.
Let's turn it over to the audience for some questions. Right here.
Hey, what's up, Ice Cube?
What's happening, man?
Being at the show score at Hip Hop Squares, I just wanted to know what percentage of hip hop you think is kind of squares right now, because it's kind of corny right now. There's a lot of corny rappers right now. So what percentage of hip hop do you think are squares right now?
No matter what era we talking about, it's always going to be corny people in hip hop. It's like when hip hop first started, it was corny groups with the good groups. So ain't nothing changed, you know what I mean? It's still probably 50% of them good, 50% of them is trash. But that's how it's always been, ain't nothing new.
Is it weird to, you were with NWA, you were at the forefront of hip hop, or at least an evolution in hip hop, when it was still kind of not in the mainstream, and in many ways it was looked down upon by the mainstream and politicians, and people were railing against it all the time. And now you have a show called Hip Hop Squares, which is taking on what was like a family-friendly show and sort of maintaining a family friendliness, but within hip hop. Isn't that kind of crazy that it's evolved to that place?
Yeah, I mean, lets us know how much the music has evolved. I mean, even being in NWA, I mean, you got to look at, here's music. Hip hop was the black sheep of music, and we were the black sheeps of hip hop. So you go from there all the way to here, and it just shows that, a lot of people thought hip hop was going to tear people apart when it first came out. They were scared it was going to pull people and communities and races apart, but it's actually brought people together more than.
That's what conservatives always say about, for the most part, movies and music that deal with, I would say, that deal with the black community in honest ways. They thought people were going to riot for Do the Right Thing. They thought people were going to riot at NWA. It's always a way of sort of censoring people from actually speaking about how they feel.
Yeah, I trip off people like that who are, they undercover freaks, but they don't want nobody else to let their freak flag fly. You know what I'm saying? It's like, what the hell's going on? I mean, it's cool that you got conservative politics, but, it's all about freedom. It's all about letting people be themselves, and it's all about choice. It's all about letting people choose what they want to be entertained by. What's good for the goose is not always good for the gander. So, I just wish people relax when it comes to entertainment and expression and other people living their lives. We gotta, my pops always told me, and my man Kibo too, it's a saying, you mind your own business, you live longer. So, that's true. Mind your own damn business and you'll have a long, happy life. Start getting in other people's business and your ass gonna die.
It's a funny thing to say to a reporter interviewing you on stage right now. Next question.
We'll take our next question from an online viewer. So Jamie would like to know, what has been your favorite moment so far from Hip Hop Squares?
Oh, man, my favorite moment from Hip Hop Squares. Young Jock. He was doing a movie in the middle of this, so he had like a conch hairdo. You know what I mean? It was like, it looked like almost like a woman's hairdo. So they kept calling him a boss bitch on the damn set. And it just had us dying. Y'all got to see that episode when Young Jock wears the perm. I don't know what the hell that is on his head. He had the nerve to wear that on set. They killed him. It was funny.
I think I have time for one more question right there.
Hey, I loved you in the Jump Street movies, and I want to see if we'll see you working with them again.
Oh, man, I'd love to. We was trying to put together 23 Jump Streets, so the script that they had, for some reason, they wasn't feeling it, so they went back to revamp it. And I'm looking forward to, being Captain Dixon again, So long as nobody fuck my daughter, then, you know, we won't have no problems.
On that note, Hip Hop Squares is on VH1 Monday nights at 9, and Big 3 first game June 25th at the Barclays Center, right?
Right here in Brooklyn, baby. Let's do it.
Are tickets on sale for that yet?
Tickets on sale March 18th.
Tickets on sale for Big 3 March 18th. Ice Cube, thank you so
Yeah,
much.
yeah.